And welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Willie Coles of Ace. We continue on with more chapters of Breaking Point to do, so. And we have a good time to do so far. So, here, wait, let's go to our next chapter. Next chapter is going to be 2 weeks later, taking place at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. Here we are.
Hello?
Hello, mate.
Who is that?
Who is this?
Oh, come on, keep up. It's Devon.
Oh no, Devon Butler!
Very same.
How did you get this number?
It doesn't really matter. Listen. I just wanted to pass on a bit of friendly advice.
Oh.
Now, it's always tricky racing on your home track. The pressure, all the fans watching, it's a nightmare.
Right, yeah, I imagine it is.
But if you keep your cool, you stay focused, you will get through it, okay? Just imagine it's a different circuit on the other side of the planet. Then, when your race does fall apart, it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, great advice.
I knew you'd think so. Anyway, good luck out there today. Just try and make it to the end, huh? Ta-ta!
Yeah, good luck to you too. I'll see you later.
Alright, let's go to the race at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Yeah. Here we go. I got a puncher.
Tyres are gone.
Copy, Aiden. Box.
Copy.
Let's just minimise the damage.
Okay, in box, you got a puncher. And we got a puncture because the tire is gone. See, it's now 100, it's now destroyed. So we're slowing down. Yellow flag because it's us with a puncher. And we have to come now into the pits to repair the tire damage to the car. It's like anyone gets a puncture. If you got a puncture, then you do have to come back to the pits for a new tire. Sainz will pass us into P7 as we're coming out into the pits.
Go now.
As the medium, we come in now for the fresh of soft tires to finish 10 for above or higher. Here we go. And we'll switch on the overtake to finish 10 for above. As we're on lap 713 with 7 laps remaining of the British Grand Prix.
Here, Aiden.
Copy.
Now the outside on Daniel Ricciardo, and we've got Daniel Ricciardo into P16. So we go ahead and look to the outside, to the inside on Lance Stroll, and we pass Lance Stroll into P14.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
Thanks, Jeff. We're up into P14. Little touch to the gravel now coming to turn 8. In the DRS range on Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time Formula World Champion, into turn 9. Looking to the inside on Sebastian Vettel. Almost a little bit of contact, but we got the 4-time Formula World Champion into P13. And now here we go on Casper Rackerman, and DRS opens on Casper Rackerman, and we got him to the outside into P12. And now we're 2.0 the gap to Alexander Albon ahead in P11 as we go fastest in Sector 2 than anybody. As we move to the 16, 17 into the bus stop chicanes, almost tap into the back of Alexander Albon. Into turn 18, having the line out with 6 laps to go of the British Grand Prix. And we go fastest in sector 3 than anybody to the inside, and we pass out, and we got Alex Alaraban into P11. Now we're 1.2 the gap to Butler ahead in P10. Now to the outside on Butler, and we go past Devin Butler, and we got Devin Butler into P10. 1.4 the gap to Kietz ahead in P9, and we go fastest in sector 1 than anybody to turn 6 now, coming into turn 7. And a tap into the back of Danny Kietz as we go to the inside on Danny Kietz, and we pass Danny Kietz into P9 now coming to turn 8.
That's P9, 9th place now.
Now we're up into P9 as we're coming into turn 9. Now turn 10, turn 11, and now coming to turn 12. Here we come on Charles Leclerc, battle for 8th place. And we go fastest again, sector 2 than anybody. And now to the looking, says Leclerc protects the inside as we come into the braking turn 15. The inside on Charles Leclerc, and we pass Charles Leclerc into P8. Now the inside on Carlos Sainz, and we pass Carlos Sainz into P7, into the 16, 17. At the bus stop, the King Sainz to look at the inside, and we stay ahead of him into turn 8, into turn 19. We say 1:32.8. A 1:32.8 with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix for 5 laps to the end of the British Grand Prix. Into turn 1, now turn 2, coming into the braking turn 3. We are 5 laps to the end of the British Grand Prix. Here we go to turn 4, now come to turn 5. And it's a line, that's a good move to the track. Look at the time. As we go fastest again, sector 1 than anybody, with 8.8 the gap to Ocon ahead in P6. So turn 6 now coming to turn 7. And we go a little bit deep in around a little deep into the gravel into turn 8 with 7.3 the gap to Ocon to Esteban Ocon ahead in P6. Now into turn 9, we run a little bit wide through turn 9. The 6.1 now the gap. The next figure 8 curve. And because of that figure 8 curve, so we go fastest again, sector 2 than anybody. 4.5 the gap to Esteban Ocon ahead in P6. As we go down the little braking zone into turn 15. 3.5 now the gap. Here we go into turn 6 and 7 into the little bus stop chicanes. Now turn 18 in the line with 4 laps remaining at the British Grand Prix. We set 1:31.1 with another fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we're coming into turn 1, coming into turn 2.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
And now we go to the inside on Ocon into braking turn 3, and we got Ocon into P6. And we pass Esteban Ocon into P6. 1.0 the gap to Norris ahead in P5, coming to turn 5. And now coming up on Lando Norris, bound for 5th place. Back off a little earlier lap, Lando Norris stay on in front. We go to the outside on Lando Norris, and we got Lando into P5. There we go into turn 7, a little bit wide, a little touch of the gravel coming into turn 8. 3.6 the gap to Pierre Gasly ahead in P4 as we come to turn 9. Coming to turn 10, 11, 12, and now turn 13. Uh-oh. Coming into the next curve, we can't go quicker. So let's switch off the overtake and use more power. 1.1 the gap to Gasly ahead in P4, and we're at 10.0 the gap to Valtteri Bottas ahead in P3. Into turn 15, we run a little bit wide as we go to the inside on Pierre Gasly, and we got Pierre Gasly into P4. 16 and 17 into the bus stop chicanes, now coming to turn
Nice move. Good job.
18, and we come to the start finish line with 3 laps to the end of the British Grand Prix. Thanks, Jeff. With 3 laps to the end of the British Grand Prix as we hit to turn 1, now turn 2. Coming to turn 3. And there goes Verstappen, passes Lewis Hamilton into P2. Lewis Hamilton, last year's British Grand Prix winner coming into turn 5. Now he was a two-time British Grand Prix winner. 4.5 the gap to Valtteri Bottas ahead in P3 as we move into turn 6. Now coming into turn 7. Now coming to turn 8. 2.4 the gap to Valtteri Bottas ahead in P3 as we move into turn 9. 1.7 the gap up to turn 10, now turn 11, and now coming to turn 12. Now turn 13. Come to turn 14, and we go fastest again, sector 2 than anybody. And Lewis Hamilton passes Verstappen in back into P1 as look to the outside on Valtteri Bottas into turn 15, and we got Valtteri Bottas into P3. Here we go, now coming to turn 16, 17 into the bus stop chicanes. Coming to turn 18 into the start finish line with 2 laps to go of the British Grand Prix, and we go fastest again, sector 3 than anybody.
40.5 seconds.
Coming into turn 1, now coming into turn 2, looking to the outside, and we've got Verstappen into P2, and the outside. Try to look at the outside on Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton stays out in front as we head into the inside on Lewis Hamilton.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
And we've passed Lewis Hamilton into P2, into P1 as we got the 7-time Formula 1 world champion into P1. And DRS open again after turn 5. And DRS closes, we go down into turn 6. Now coming into turn 7. Now we're into turn 8. Now we head towards turn 9. With 3.0 the gap to Lewis Hamilton behind it, P2. Now coming to turn 10, now turn 11, and now coming to turn 12, now turn 13. Now to turn 14 with 4.3 the gap to Lewis Hamilton behind him, P2. As we go fastest again in sector 2 than anybody. And now into the turn 15, the next middle braking zone. With 5.0 the gap to Hamilton behind in P2, coming to turn 16 and 17 into the bus stop chicanes. Now come to turn 18 and on to the final lap of the British Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
We go fastest again, sector 3 than anybody, on to the final lap of the race here at the British Grand Prix into turn 1, now into turn 2. Coming to the braking into turn 3. Now we head to turn 4. 8.3 the gap to Lewis Hamilton behind him, P2, as we move into turn 5. With 9.3 now the gap to Lewis Hamilton behind him, P2. As we move into turn 6, and now coming to turn 7. Now coming to turn 8. Coming to turn 9. We got a blue flag on Kevin Magnussen, and we'll pass him to the outside, and we'll put him to the inside and put him a lap down. Turn 10, now turn 11, and now turn 12, and now it's coming to turn 13. Now turn 14. With 12.5 the gap to Lewis Hamilton behind P2. Ladies and gentlemen, moving to turn 15. But you can't go to the pit lane as you got to stay out. Into 16 and 17 into the bus stop chicanes. Now coming to turn 18, we will see the checkered flag as we head to turn 18 into the start finish line and see the checkered flag and win the British Grand Prix.
Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
And we win the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone. It was a memorable race, and what an impressive victory. What a race for young Aiden Jackson. If he can keep this up, he's got a long, promising career in front of him.
Absolutely. He'd have been gutted about that puncture. Imagine what kind of challenge he'd have been able to make without it. You've got to give it to him though. He gritted his teeth and pulled it back. Great driving.
Now whisper it quietly, but things seem to be on the up for
everybody?
Williams Aiden Jackson. One to watch. So here they come now with Williams leading the way to the podium. A hard-fought victory for the team today, and one I'm sure they'll savour. It's Williams, today's winners.
And time for the champagne. Here we go. Oh, you gotta spray me, Lewis Hamilton. Here, take this. I'll spray your back. And spray, 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 spray. And the post-race of the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. All right.
Brian,
Well, someone's the hot topic in the press room.
what do you mean?
Oh, come on. There's no need to be so modest.
What are you on about, Brian?
Oh, after that puncture, everyone thought you'd lost it. But to pull it back and into the points, it's all anyone's talking about.
Well, I'm glad the press is starting to take notice.
Oh, get used to it. They put a bunch of interviews in your diary for tomorrow. It's why I was calling.
Right. Thanks for letting me know.
So don't celebrate too hard tonight, eh?
No.
Yeah, all right, Brian. Don't worry. I'm only going to see my mum.
Right. Well, each to their own.
See you later, Brian.
Now the rewards we pick.